I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeff Green. Jeff Green is the founder and chief visionary of 84 West Studios in South Florida. Universally regarded as one of the most talented event MCs and DJs in America, Jeff has served thousands of South Florida clients for over 30 years. His skills and talent have been featured at events from coast to coast and in Latin America. My friends, it is a pleasure to introduce to you my good friend, Mr. Jeff Green.
Welcome everybody to Las Vegas and to a presentation for you for education, for entertainment. I hope you guys are getting a lot from this part of the show up here. Chauvet has gone to great lengths to make sure that DJs improve through education. You know, we all like the gear, we all like the product and all that, but what good is any of that if you don't know how to make the most of it? And that's a little bit what we're going to talk about today. Youth trends, increasing new ways, new trends in creating good profits in the youth market. So I'm going to take you through a couple little things. I'm not really going to be talking product as much as things that you should have that help, and you can figure out the product specifically. You can talk to Chauvet professionals to help you on the lighting side of the product, because some of the things I mentioned will be product-based, but they're not things that are specific for here. And the idea here is very simple. What are the events that are popular for the youths, and what are the things that you can use to make the most profit? So, first thing I want to say is, in order to increase your profits, you need to know who you are as an entertainer, as an MC, and as a DJ. And whoops, that wasn't good. Let me launch that baby back up, and
that's what she said. Oh, I better go.
There we go.
Go sing. Be my love.
Who are you? You're the new rock stars. DJs are the modern day rock stars. That's what we are. People want to see what we do. Look at these guys. You've got people like Avicii, Steve Aoki, Tiesto. You see that light was the core system. Afrojack, Calvin Harris. Jim was at this event with me. Remember Jim? And these are the people who, what's next? Today we looked at.
Well, I like to focus more on parties and enjoying life.
What did Afrojack just say there? I asked him, what's next in your career? What are you doing? He says, I want to focus more on parties. Now, when you have people like Afrojack, guys are making, I don't know, Jim, what did he make? Maybe about $20 million last year? Yeah, about $20 million last year. Guys like Tiesto, Tiesto works one night a week here in Las Vegas and gets paid $20 million a year to work one night a week here. And of course, he's open the rest of the week to work anywhere else in the world he'd like to. So, you know, those rock stars, we're not trying to be those people, but those people influence our business and the youth market more than anywhere else, because those rock stars, those DJs, they're the people that the kids today want to see and hear at their events. So we can all bring them to them through the great music we do, through the great visuals we bring. We can bring those rock stars, and more importantly, we can be those same rock stars in our presentation and our performance. What drives the youth market? It's very simple. The music. Electronic dance is real popular, but every market could be different. But a lot of young people do like electronic dance music. So EDM is popular, other dance songs, other dance styles, Latin, Afro-American Latin. If you think of from Pitbull, Pitbull's on everything today. Pitbull's on everything. Probably the hardest man in music today. He tours, does over 180 shows a year, and he travels with a recording studio because you hear his voice on everybody else's tracks. He takes a 3-room suite. One room is set up as a sound room, mixing in the other room, and then the other room, I don't know what it is, the third room, but they do production every day of the road. They're doing production for tracks he does for other people, including himself, so he travels with. Their style, you look at these people, I mean, look at Pitbull, you mentioned him. Look at his style, he's always got a suit, he's cute, he's fashionable the way he is. Look at some of these other people, they're funky, fresh, whether they're wearing Armani or whether they're wearing, whatever stylish looking. Look at the way I'm dressed, not that I'm the most fashionable, but we're not wearing tuxedos at these events because they aren't weddings, first of all. And even weddings aren't really doing tuxedos so much for the DJ. You know, we're not the servers. We don't have to look like the service staff. We want to be trendy and cool because we are the rock stars. And you want to look like a rock star. Now, the energy on stage, that's contagious. If you believe that you're going to have a great party and you bring on the energy, that's contagious. You're going to give energy. And the energy doesn't just have to be your performance, although I strongly recommend having a good visual performance, your personality on the microphone, the way you communicate is very important. But it's also in your presentation. Look at the energy a light show can bring. Look at the energy, video animations, and excitement. I mean, if you saw Tiesto, it wasn't the core system. What was he has? The Nexus system. Tiesto tours with Chauvet's Nexus system. And it's a visual presentation. It's how he looks. He has that entire system. The DJ version is the core system, but the Nexus system is what he tours with. And that's his facade. And it's really cool that you've got that look. It's the lights, the graphics that it can be mapped to it and everything like that, the words, his name running across it. It's like a dot matrix sign running across the front of the facade. Those elements are really important. If you look at these big stars, people aren't really playing music videos at shows, big concerts I go to, the DJ concerts I go to. You know, I mean, I remember years ago thinking, a DJ in concert? Really? What are you gonna see? You know? Well, they're only playing their own tracks and other tracks, there's no question. But if you look at these guys, you look at David Guetta. David Guetta has a smile from here to here, okay? He's jumping up and down, he's dancing all by himself up there, and he's in front of 150, 200,000 people, okay? And I'm telling you, he's in front of 150 to 200,000 people, and that's no exaggeration. You know, and he's having a great time, the whole audience is contagious. So scale that down to your size, okay? Be animated, be engaging. Look at the audience, have fun, and we're gonna talk about some of the ways you can do that next. So, use all of these elements in your show to make it more visible. So, what's the youth market? Very easy. Basically, it's the under 21 market. Any event that's under 21 years old. And what do those include? Bar and bat mitzvahs. Whoops. I think I went too far here. Oops. I don't usually use a PowerPoint, so. Come on. There we go. Okay, so, bar and bat mitzvahs, confirmation parties. Confirmation parties, for the most part, kind of like a religious confirmation, coming of age as well. These are all coming of age events. Coming of age for the non-Jewish market. Quinceañeras, or quinces, as referred to in the Latin market. Again, a coming of age event. These coming of age events, a girl's turning 15 years old, she's having a celebration. Sweet 16s, same thing, coming of age event. 18th birthday parties, coming of age event. 18, also can be graduation parties. Homecoming dances for the school market, okay? Although I find that homecoming dances tend to be the one where they hire a DJ who is a student in class because they don't want to spend as much money on it. But in some markets, it's really important to them to have a great DJ for that. And then finally, the holy grail of all school events and probably all youth market is the prom. So let's talk a little bit about the prom. Yeah, each of them, by the way, face their own challenges. So when you're doing these events, let's be aware of those. They all have a commonality, which is where the money is made. And it's made by the presentation, how you show and what you do. So, every one of these have ambience. Ambience is made up of sound, it's made up of lighting, it's made up of your live and your music videos. And I say live and music videos because if you're not using a camera to bring in some live footage at any event that you're gonna have video screens, then you're kind of missing the boat. People want to see themselves. More than anything else, people like to see themselves. You know, I venture to say that a lot of the music videos that are out there are probably inappropriate for a lot of the youth market. There are some really good ones, but you have to be very careful with your program. But some of those songs that the kids want to hear, the visual aspect of the song is inappropriate. Now, we have Jim Robinson here from Prom Only, and I know that they do clean up, they edit. I've actually watched them take the commercial, the video that's been released to them, given to them by the record company, and they will turn around and edit them for cleanliness so that the visuals aren't as extreme. But that's important that you be aware of what those visuals are. Make sure you don't throw a music video on until you've actually seen it yourself. You can play songs and know that they're going to be clean, but you can't necessarily know the audio may be great, but a 10-foot booty is still a 10-foot booty, and it may be inappropriate for your crowd. And then of course custom titling. What's custom titling? It's very simple. You got a Sweet 16. Amber's Sweet 16. Have some really cool, you ever heard of Bluff Titler? It's a software product called Bluff Titler. Create a bunch of fun titles in there. Amber's Sweet 16, Sweet 16, you know, Amber's whatever moment, all these words, come up, Amber Smith, throw words in there, left toggle simple renders out, quick MP4 AVI files, drop them into your programs, and you can have those things looping around and turning around. So you have some visual. You can have some of those things fill. I know like virtual DJ, you can actually have, where you need video to be shown, you can have it pulled from basically a crate that's created of videos or all these little ambient videos, and actually by itself randomly pick from your selection of videos. So it's just choosing one of 20 little video moments that you've made up to fill in where you don't have a music video. So the visuals are very important. Now, I'll explode that a little bit for you. When you look at someone like a Nervo or a Tiesto or an Avicii, and they're performing it at a concert with 150, 200,000 people, all the visuals on stage are their name, their brand. Nervo, when they did Ultra Music Festival, the Nervo twins, they were up there performing. They're two of the most gorgeous women you'll ever meet. They're both fashion models as well. And they're up on the stage, and there's a little animation, these little cutesy animations of each of the sisters. And they're up there up on stage, one girl, the other girl. They're moving back and forth together, the two together, and all these things in 3D, spinning in and out and all that. The whole show has their brand up there. They're not playing a video of their music. They're playing music. They're mixing, by the way, is not only their music, it's their own mixes of other people's music as well. And then the visual, because it's a highly visual concert, is all animations of their brand. 150,000 people are exposed to an hour set of their name. Believe me, they're all going home and Nervo's in the top of their head. So it's top of mind. So you can do the same thing. That's your opportunity to have your brand. Now, it might be a little obnoxious to have your company name up there all the time, but you got DJ Mikey Mike. Where's Mike? There he is. You got DJ Mikey Mike, which, by the way, has some great visuals. Have that come in and out occasionally. I wouldn't have, DJ Mikey Mike in the house during a set, but I would have, Mikey Mike's animations flying in and things like that, doing all sorts of crazy things, along with the other visuals. So it's a little bit more subtle. It's not all in your face promoting yourself, but it's in there along with the other mix of visuals. So people see you, see your brand, and guess what? These people go out and they remember you. I'll get towards the end of my presentation, I'll explain why that's really important. Now, the next thing that's really important, the interactives. Every event you can do for the youth market can have interactives. By interactives, I'm talking about things that people can interact with, okay? I'm not talking about interactive dances, but things like photo booths. You see them downstairs, we all know it. Don't need to say more about them. Temporary tattoos, I think there's a vendor down there doing temporary tattoos. Temporary tattoos are hot for certain events, and we'll talk about which events in a moment. Graffiti walls. Last year there was a virtual graffiti person here, and I would see what did this year. I know we bought ours about 2 years ago, and it's been hugely successful for us, for certain markets especially. And it's amazing. I can get a virtual graffiti wall, $2,500 for 4 hours at a party, but you may not even be able to get that for a DJ with a full production. You can set up a graffiti wall in less than an hour to rather unskilled workers. They have to babysit the system and just kind of show people what to do themselves. A lot of profit for you. It's a lot of profit, and because everybody is not running out and doing it, photo booths have kind of diminished value and cost because there's all this software available on the internet. There's all this, there's a lot of people building photo booths with homemade whatever, shower curtains I like to call them, the shower curtain booths. And I'm not talking about the people here, some good booths here, but there are a lot of people out there, they're going on Groupon, they're doing them for $3.99, $2.99, get a photo booth for your wedding, And you've all done those weddings, and you've seen how embarrassing some of those photo booths are and how long the experience is. Well, something like graffiti wall, on the other hand, it was just kind of a photo booth, by the way, but the graffiti wall, the cool thing is that everybody in your market can't go out and do it because they don't have the production knowledge of putting together the components to do it. Well, you can't just go out and buy a laptop and have a webcam on or plug a DSLR and boom, you're in business. No, that's part of it, but you need more. You need special hardware. And that's where we can always accelerate because we're all hardware people. We love new toys and gadgets. And where you make the most money is when the hardware is something that isn't as easily attainable by others, by the consumer. The mom and pop trying to be the weekend warrior, taking money out of your pocket. I mean, I had a conversation with somebody earlier today that he's got a person who's a school teacher full-time, earning a school teacher's salary, competing head-to-head with him and underselling him by about 50%. Well, how would that teacher like it if I went into school and I started substituting teacher, being a substitute teacher and taking money out of their pocket? I'm not qualified to do that, but you don't have to be qualified to be a DJ or MC. There's no certification program or no education necessary. But let's face it, if you had really great toys, if you had really good hardware, that they can't afford to go out and get maybe, but you've made the capital investment and look at the opportunity to move it. And who here has bought anything and not made their money back from it? Show of hands. Has anybody bought something and not made their money back? Forget it, Jim. What have you bought that you haven't made your money back on? Really? Really? And when did you do that? Like 2 years ago? 10 years ago. Okay, that's interesting because the first game show system that ever existed, Dean Lichtenwalder, he was an employee of mine when he created it. And we had the first thing, and for 2 or 3 years before he came to the first convention and showed it. And that has made so much money. It's paid for itself so often. And just as a cocktail hour entertainment, selling it for a couple $100 for 1 hour, your staff's all there, it's just another piece of equipment, you can make money. That's for cocktail hour, we get like $4.50 for. So $4.50 for cocktail, you're already there. It's just a piece of equipment to bring in. Look at selling and how you can sell it. Do we sell them as a big production set and all that? No, I can't make. I've done a few, but very few. That's not how we make our money. So you can sell it. You can find places to sell it. We do corporate team buildings with it as well. So you can find things like that. And game shows, I don't have it listed here, but the game shows is a good example. Anybody else? Somebody else said somebody over here pointed. Dave Potts, what was it?
Same thing, game shows.
Game shows. By the way, I'm finding resurgence in game shows. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I didn't list game shows in there for bar and bat mitzvahs. Not every market has a big bar and bat mitzvah market, but game shows are coming back for us. Everything that's old is new again at some point. You know, things do come around. That old inventory, I need a little dusting off. Things like a game show is a perfect example because I think we started doing the game shows over about 20 years ago. I think 1993 or so, 92, 93, we started doing game shows. And there's been the last 6 or so years in which I don't think they came off the shelf. And then all of a sudden we started showing it to clients again, and next thing you know, we've created a market for amongst our clients, and then we're getting people saying, oh, hey, we were at this party, we saw a game show, you guys do that? You know, they already had somebody else booked that they wanted for their event. So sometimes you gotta dust those things off, and they will pay for itself. Photo booths right now, game shows, you don't have a lot of competitors going out and doing it, like mom and pops aren't doing it, but photo booths is a sticky subject on that. Anyways, graffiti wall is a good way around. Live Instagram. If you're gonna have multimedia, you're gonna have video screens there. Oh my God. Who has not been at a party where the kids are on the dance floor, you know, on their phones? They're connected to they're on their hands all the time, and they're permanently connected to their hands. So why don't you make them work for you? There are programs out there, I'm not going to discuss what those programs are, but there are programs out there that allow you to post up Instagram photos live at the event. One we use, we call it Insta Live is our brand name for it. And basically, at the event, we set it up, we create a hashtag at the event, we discuss with the client beforehand if it's necessary, and then right at the event, people walk in, they see, you know, post this in a bar and bat mitzvah, we have our dancers go around and start doing it cocktail hour and tell people. At a corporate event, when people register for a corporate event, we did a holiday party for 850 people in December, in which we had printed up all these cards, and as the guests checked into the party for the company, they were given their 2 free drink tickets and a little card that says, hi, open up your Instagram, start taking pictures, and the company would like you to use this hashtag tonight. In the cocktail hour, which was a 90-minute cocktail hour for how big the party was, people were doing this, they have no idea why. There's 2 photo booths there, by the way, as well. But when they came in the room, the video screens, we had 2 9x12 video screens, and there's all these pictures from cocktail hour and videos, because Instagram, you can do photos and videos. So photos and videos coming in, people were, whoa, this is cool, look, hey, there's our picture, and they're having fun with it. And then now it really took off. I don't remember, I think there was probably about 100 posts during cocktail hour amongst 850 people. That's a lot of posts, but maybe not. But by the end of the night, there was about 3,500 posts. Okay, that's a lot of pictures because people got into it. They see every once in a while a little hashtag, it comes up, a little reminder commercial, if you will, come up saying, hey, use this hashtag. So it's a way to engage your guests. They're out on the dance floor. It's a live slideshow. Click, up there you go. You need internet, of course, don't forget that. Slow-mo booths. Okay, slow-mo booths. You see that there's a company called Slow-mo booths down there. John's here somewhere. Oh, here he is. John's right over here. This is a hot new trend. Last year, a guy, Leaping Frog or something like that is the name of a video company in the Philippines. The guy did a wedding video, shot it with a red Scarlett camera, $20,000 camera, went into post-production, did a little highlight video of people doing dancing in front of a white screen, did it all in post-production, made a little highlight clip, put it on the internet, went viral. Every bridal site started saying, wow, the hot new trend, slow-mo. It became a hot new trend. Every videographer who could find a camera that could do slow-mo, which about the cheapest camera is what, about $7,500? Huh? $7,000 or $8,000, the cheapest camera you can buy that does slow-mo, that does high speed. It's actually a high-speed camera. It has to record at a high frame rate. So when you play it back at regular frame rate, it's slowed down. So it's a big investment. Videographers are doing, they're saying, hey, we can do a slow-mo booth. Problem is that people like instant gratification. It's nice to be able to do that. This gentleman over here created a booth. Very simple. Software, hardware, put it together, create, I shouldn't say simple, but I mean simple is simple for you. And now, instantly, people are getting that experience. It's the next thing to photo booths, and it's not a replacement for photo booths. Yes, Jim?
Hey, the key is even your camera will do slow-mo. The problem is only the expensive ones will do high resolution and slow-mo. So you can't just have any old camera like that.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. There's
you need special equipment like this.
Right. His equipment is very special. It's very specialized. It's programmed. There's a whole bunch of technology behind that we don't need to talk about. But basically, you can get a GoPro camera that'll do slow-mo. You can get a cell phone that'll do slow-mo. And doesn't mean it's doing the same thing though. And rendering it out live and posting it and doing your Facebook post right away. These are all things that the slow-mo booth is able to do. No different than a photo booth. By the way, it does also print. This is a hot new trend. It came out in November. We bought it the first day of the show where he premiered it. And using it, we've had an explosion of popularity. Slow-mo booth is going for, we sell it for $22.50. $22.50, one attendant, set up the booth. It's in there in the event. People have a grand time. If you want to see Luigi after the show, I'll see you afterwards. I can show you some clips and samples, or better yet, go down to his booth. I asked him to come up here in case anybody had questions and wanted to talk to him afterwards, because it is a hot new trend. Now, party favors. You still can use them. Don't think that they're old, they're 1990s or 1980s. They're not. There's cool favors. Anything that lights up, anything that blinks is hot. You know, our friends, we all know Sherman Novelty, they're down here. Go look at what they got. They're always listening to the DJ. They've got their pulse on what's happening in the DJ market and what's hot and trendy, and they will help you. And they'll also help you create your own kits. Now, the next thing is to remember that we're talking about a short attention span. I like to call it short attention span theater. So you got to keep these people engaged. And if you keep them engaged, they will worship you. At a party, at any event, keep them engaged, you'll have them eating out of your hand. You've heard that expression. So let's talk about the perfect prom. First of all, we know what happens at a prom. Nobody eats at a prom. So when you go to pitch a prom, the first thing I want to ask you to do is talk to the school and remind them that nobody eats at the prom. The biggest, best proms we've done, we have a school that we do every year, and our income is over $25,000 for our services at a prom, at one prom. Now, I know most schools don't want to spend that kind of money, but it's because that school recognizes one thing and only one thing. Oh, by the way, senior class members at that school, senior class does not have to pay. It's a senior prom. Senior class members don't pay for tickets. Only dates and only underclassmen pay for tickets. Where do they get their money? Through fundraising and things like that. For the most part, they've had some really creative fundraising things. If you want to ask me afterwards, so you can talk to your school, I'll give you some really great ideas. But it's the biggest celebration these kids are going to have with their friends, the people they grew up with. Often it's going to be the last celebration with many of their friends. Because if they go off to college and they go all across the country where they go, they're not going to see these people for a while, if ever again in some cases. So it's really, again, it's a coming of age. It's graduating on. Our childhood we're leaving our childhood behind, but we are adults almost. We sort of want to party like adults, but it's still under controlled atmosphere. So in a prom, you want to deliver an experience that lets them feel like they're really special, but it's a club atmosphere, but let's face it, it's controlled. So, what do we got? Cool parties, they want to be, proms today, if you go to see a bar mitzvah and see what's expanded at a bar mitzvah or a sweet 16, why should a prom have anything less? Why should a school tell you that the DJ, oh, we got $1,500 for a DJ, that's all we can afford. When you're thinking to yourself, I did a sweet 16 and I got $2,500 or $3,500, and there was only 150 people there, and there's 800 people at this prom, and they're telling me that they can't spend $2 a head, that's ridiculous. And if you break it down to those numbers, I think you'll see, if you tell a school, let's see, you have 800 kids, how much you guys charge per ticket? You're charging $125 a ticket. I don't know how every market is, by the way. It's South Florida, it's about $125 to $150 per ticket to go to a prom. So if you got, let's use round numbers, you got 1,000 kids, you got $100 a head, It's $100,000 into income at a prom. Now, they don't eat food. So why are they going to have a huge sit-down dinner? They nosh and nibble. So you need to help them understand. If you're early enough in the planning process, say, you know what? And we did this with a couple of schools, and we've had them as loyal customers since, including the one that I told you, the big high ticket. What we've done is said very simply, you got to cut off the food. Half these kids have eaten before they got here or have plans to go out and eat afterwards. So the venue needs to make money on the room, but you really need to cut down the cost per person. Make it just a past hors d'oeuvre, not past hors d'oeuvre, like station hors d'oeuvre stations. So there's some food, but you got to take the money out of the caterers' pockets. That's really the bottom line, and I'm not going to go into full detail on it, but that's what you have to do. You have to help them understand your experience you're going to give these kids is what the kids are going to remember. They're not going to remember anything they had to eat. Decor and things like that, another story, they do spend well for that on proms as well. So, what's important to have? The elements you need. Big sound. Big, clear sound. Club lighting. Got it all over here. Chauvet can set you up with the best lighting you need for it. And again, I'm not talking about specific fixtures. Everybody's different, what you like, what you want to work with, but you need the right lighting fixtures. IMAG video. Do you know what IMAG is? Or is it a live camera? IMAG stands for image magnification. That's what it is. Live camera. Live camera fees. People want to see themselves. Yeah, you can play music videos as well, but let me tell you, when there's a camera on a group of kids and they're up there dancing and whatever they're doing, when they're twerking, they want to see themselves on the screen. You'll see kids, hey, look, they're up there. It's like the football games or the basketball games. Hey, look, they're up there, the kissing monitor, whatever. It's no different. People like to see themselves. Make them the star, and you'll be the star as well. Photo booths, uplights. Uplights you can easily sell. The decor company might beat you to that if there's a big decor budget, but you can definitely do it, or certainly you can control the lighting, the uplighting around your stage and your visual aspect. Dance floor panels. We have these dance stages that are underlit, so they're like really cool panels and dance blocks we call them, and people get up on the stage. And by the way, that's something I encourage highly, and I'll explain that in a second. Slow-mo booths, the geyser. You do court entrance. You know what the geyser is over here? Where is it actually? It's not here, okay, downstairs. The geyser is a fog machine, for lack of a better description, that shoots straight up in the air, kind of like a flame effect, kind of like one of those flaming effects. It shoots up smoke. It has LEDs in it, so it looks like a fire, it looks like a flame, but it's only haze. And they have a quick dispersion fog fluid now, so it dissipates very quickly. Get them on stage, make them the stars. Every prom we do, we make sure to set the DJ system as far back on the stage or entirely off the stage. Put trussing up over it, and let the kids come up on the stage. Alan, where's Alan at? Alan, you remember doing some proms with us, where, I don't think he's in the room right now, where we did that, and I know the caterers don't like it, they don't want to see that many kids on stage, we have to control, but the kids see themselves on stage, now they're the rock stars. You get them to do things, you get them to interact, you do songs that they love, they know the words to. They're seeing Thrift Shop last year, oh my God, Thrift Shop, have 4 wireless mics connected to your system. Have your MC with 3 in one hand and he's going along like, come on, sing along, handing out the mics to people on the stage. You want to go around the room, and they're all singing along the song, and rapping to it. They feel like they're the stars because they're up on a stage in front of all their friends. Wow, they're the rock stars, and you're a rock star right along with them. So make them the stars. That's a perfect prom. Let me go on now. Sweet 16. It's more about the dress and the shoes. Let's face it, it's not like a wedding. It's like a mini wedding, and so is quinceañeras, by the way. It's a fun party where the parents aren't really watching. They're not too young that the parents feel they have to be on top of them. They're giving a little leeway. It's sort of like that first, let's see how much we can get away with. So you don't play up to that. We want it to be just the right ambience. Lighting is really important because you want to bring that club atmosphere into it. You want to make it look visually pleasing, but they want it a little darker too because they want to try to make out a little bit, when they do this. And you play slow songs, by the way. You need to play slow songs. But they also want to be, rubbing against each other and twerking and everything like that. And they don't have the supervision of a lot of parents, as a younger party might. Heck, even a prom might have that with chaperones from the school, and you may not be able to get away with some of these things. But the Sweet 16 is a private party, and they will try to get away with what they can. And your job is to give them the opportunity without giving them free rein. So do control it, because if not, you'll ruin your reputation because people say, oh, he let them do this, he let them do that. You don't have to be a cop, but you certainly need to know how to keep the party moving so you don't encourage too much touchy and feeling and things like that on the dance floor. As an entertainer, you can do that. What's important? Elements. a great remixer. The DJ needs to be the best DJ you got. If you're the MC, if you're DJ and an MC, but you know your DJ skills are just good for weddings and for other events, corporate events, get yourself somebody who can sit there and mix and scratch and do things like that, who can really do the programming of the music. And even if you feed them the program, but just make sure that they know how to keep it cool and current. They like to see that. And you do live video, again, you do the IMAG on that. A good dance floor light system. Okay, great. Truss lighting, whatever you want to do. I like putting the pillars around the dance floor and lighting from all four corners. That's a big popular thing that I like to do at almost any of these larger events. Exciting entrance with the geyser. That Sweet 16, she's going to come in and have an entrance. 2 geysers. She comes in through a tunnel of flame, which is really smoke, and it's a really cool. It's a cool effect. It can be used several times throughout the evening for other things too. Put it beside the cake when it's time to cut the cake. You know, here we go. So something you do that. Slow-mo booth, photo booth, gobos. You may not sell a gobo to prom, but you will sell it at a Sweet 16. Girls in the middle of the dance floor, perfect. Theme, whatever. Easy pins. We've all been talking about these easy pins. They're hot, they're wonderful, they're great. You can sell it at a Sweet 16. Pin spot the cake. Very simple. Even if it's just that. They have a little cake pin spotting package. Then, of course, you might want to help with table decor as well. Then, of course, like you see the centerpieces here, you can do that too. Music videos. I don't find that Sweet 16s, and I know some people disagree with me with this, but I'm watching them. I don't do the spinning. I don't actually DJ Sweet 16s or MC them anymore because I have young, good-looking guys who do it. But I will be at some of these events supervising the production and the whole event, and what I do see is that they're not watching the video screens. Now, when there's Instagram up there, and when there's live camera, the IMAG, yes, they will watch the screen because they like to see themselves. But I don't see it when we do music videos. I don't see them really watching the music videos. They're dancing the dances. You know, I'll see every once in a while somebody, oh yeah, they're even looking towards the screen. But most of the part, they're not. So that's my opinion with what I see. I know that many of you may not feel the same way about music videos. So I'm not against music videos, by the way. I love them, personally. I just think at Sweet 16, kids want to, it's about the girls, about the shoes and the dress. It's the same thing. All these girls, they want to see the shoes and the dress. They want to show them off. You know, the girl, she's 16, she's wearing Louboutins, you know, and come on, she wants to show off the little red sole there. They're all walking around. It's who can show off who. Proms aren't too different, except that they come with dates and all that. There's sort of expectations there. So, quinceañeras. She's the princess for the evening. It's a mini wedding, really. Coming of age, whoops, went too far there. Time delay. Sorry about that, guys. I think my battery's not giving me the. I'm good with technology. That's an insult. Randy usually asks me for help. Maybe I have to ask him this time. Okay, so here I think we're in the next one here.
That's good with technology.
Not touching this anymore to see if it went. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. So, a Sweet 16 has some traditions, not a lot necessarily. A quinceañera has a lot of traditions. Okay? If you don't know what they are, I'll just run through them very quickly. You have grand entrance, you have a court. A court could be like a bridal party, could be 15 couples. There's traditional dances that they have. I've seen as many as 15 dances, and they're not all 15 full songs, but 15 little sequences of songs, and they choreograph it. If you have a showroom, you can now rent your space out, your showroom, for rehearsals. If you don't have a showroom, they're going to have rehearsals if they're going to do those dances. You can upsell mixing that music for them. You don't have to be just the DJ at the party. You can be the one that puts together this whole mix and pay. They're going to pay somebody. If they pay a choreographer or somebody else to remix it, you might as well be the one to get the money's on the table. Don't leave it there. Oh, by the way, after the court dances, then there's dances with fathers, uncles, brothers, then there's this changing of the shoes, which the changing of the shoes is the girl walks in, she has a pair of sneakers on, okay? So she's a little girl. Now she's becoming a woman, she gets her first high heels. Now, it doesn't mean she's never worn high heels, but officially in the tradition, she's gonna get high heels. So what do they do? A big fluffy chair, she sits down, her dad or brother or uncle will come over, take off her sneakers, and put on her first beautiful, expensive pair of high heel shoes. So that's some of the traditions that happen. These are things that are important to the people in that culture. So you have to recognize and learn about those things and make sure to deliver the ambience. Where you can do that, spotlighting. One of the hottest things in the Sweet 16, in the Quinceañera rather, is spotlighting those dances. I just told you, there'd be 15 different dances. The girl, she comes in and she does a waltz with the first partner, okay? You can follow spot, you can spotlight that. Then she changes to the second partner, the third partner, all the way through. In the meantime, all the other couples are on the side doing their little dance around. You want to spotlight her. She's the princess that night. They go to do the shoe changing. You want to spotlight that. She's dancing with brother or uncle or grandfather, father. You want to spotlight those. So spotlighting is really important. Pin spotting as well is going to be important because you do the centerpieces. And of course you do the cake as well. Now, what's most important as far as the production side? A DJ and an MC, must have. Don't try to do it as one. There's the traditions, you need somebody who's going to run those traditions. Sometimes you'll find that they'll have a choreographer who's done the choreography if they didn't hire you, and this person may be the MC as well. And they're going to come in to MC the opening traditions. They will not be there after that. So don't count on them running the party for you as far as traditions go. They're just there to run through the beginning opening where they announce this person and this person are dancing together what the song is. You can do that though as well. Good dance lighting, as I mentioned a moment ago. Your gobos, up lights, easy pin on cake and tables. And the most important thing, English and Spanish music. Any cultural event you want to play, I don't care whether it's going to be Haitian or Russian or Brazilian, Portuguese music or whatever. Just make sure you have the music for that culture. You don't have to know how to speak the language. I don't know a lick of Russian, but I've had a series of Russian Jewish weddings over the last few months. And let me tell you, all I did was ask them, what would you like to play? Is there anything you want to give me? Great. I had one client, she gave me 2 CDs. I don't know why she gave me CDs, but she did. 2 CDs. All the songs were just tracked numbers. Didn't tell me the titles of the songs. Just track number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she gave me an instruction. When you play music for the Russians, play these, but only play 3 songs at a time, and make sure it's 1, 2, and 3 when you're ready to, then 4, 5, and 6 when you're ready to, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She did it that way. It was like a cookie cutter. So I was like the greatest Russian DJ. I didn't know what I was playing, but it worked. And those clients who understand that you have a limitation in knowledge of that music, they know you're a DJ and you can mix the beats. And let's face it, beats are beats. It doesn't matter what language it's in. We know beats, so we can mix that stuff together. By the way, Russians have their music is very much like trance music and EDM. At least the stuff I've been playing. Anyhow, again, the photo in the slow-mo booth, the gobo, the easy pin, all important things. These are upsells, these are interactives you're going to want to have on these events. The graffiti wall. Sweet 16 and Quinceañeras. We first started selling graffiti walls on Quinceañeras. Those were our first client. The first one we did, I bought it at IAPA last year, in actually 2012, the graffiti wall, and 3 days later, I had my first graffiti wall sale. I came back from IAPA, I picked up the unit there, came home with it. 3 days later, I had my first sale. Okay, now we already talked to the client, I knew I was going to buy it there at the show, so I already talked to him beforehand. We sold it $2,500, went to the event. From that event, we sold 8 more. Nobody had seen it. Nobody had seen this. It was the coolest thing. It happened to be an urban theme, graffiti theme. The decor they had done graffiti on the walls, and also it had been there. Now, one thing you need to know about graffiti walls: the kids will dominate it from cocktail hour through the beginning of the party. For dinner, they'll come over a few times, and then the kids have lost all their opportunities because once the adults have had a few drinks and they start getting into that graffiti wall, they own it, and those kids are screwed. Because some of these interactives, once the adults get hold of it, that's it, yeah, amen. And corporate events, the graffiti wall has been incredible with us for the same reason, because they are drunk and it's all adults and they just take over on it. They have fun. If you have somebody who's clever and who can do real graffiti, have them be the attendant and have them help people along and take those air cans. And I'm not going to go into how the technology works, but basically you have spray cans and have them do the spray cans and the graffiti. It's all virtual, there's no mess. No real paint. It looks and sounds like you're painting. And the cool thing is, you have somebody who really knows how to do the accents to it, and knows how to do shadows and stuff like that, in addition to the templates that are part of the system. And I'll tell you what, people are getting their own artwork. It's cool, it's fun. So it's what makes it engaging. Anything you can keep them engaged. Upsell rehearsal service, as I said earlier, Keen says, you're gonna have those traditions. If you can, put yourself in position of upselling those services. Bar mitzvahs, party like a rock star. And by party like a rock star here, the kid's the rock star. Bar mitzvah is a boy, a bat mitzvah is a girl, they're the rock stars. Lost my slide. Okay. Again, what are you going to have? It's important to be a great MC. You're going to need dancers. You're going to need, there's something called Zap Shots you've heard of, which basically can be replaced by the Instagram, where you have video screens. They like production. They like great dance floors, lit dance floors if you want to go that way, lighted dance blocks. You know, a lot of people talk about a lot of money being spent for bar and bat mitzvahs. It is a coming of age, not only in that they're 13 and they're a little bit older, but really it's a religious coming of age, because the Jewish faith, if you don't know, at the age of 13, if you will hopefully have completed your Jewish education, your education to be considered a full religious, full Jew in the eyes of the religion, and therefore you have your bar, a bat mitzvah celebration in honor of that. And the celebrations become, some of these parties are really over the top. So these people are open to ideas, and they don't want to do the same as everybody else. So you can give them new, fresh ideas. You may have heard Jared talking yesterday about doing cool textures with lighting. I agree, do that. A pipe and drape in a room. Something pipe and drape, even if it's just behind the wall behind the DJ, and then throw images on there, whether it be textured effects or whether it be custom gobos for them. Video screens, always very hot in bar and bat mitzvahs. For live, for video entrances, if you don't know what a video entrance is, something you film beforehand, something that's fun, tells a little story about the kid, and then they make their appearance in the little entrance that way. You can do those at weddings too, by the way. I don't find that they work well at quinces or sweet 16s for some reason. Then, of course, what's the production side is important. Great sound system, great lighting system. You got your photo booths, you got your video booths, you got your slow-mo, you got all the other things that you've seen in the other parties that we've mentioned here are all important. But it's all about keeping these kids busy, because Ritalin and all the other drugs that are being used for ADD aren't enough for what some of these kids can do at a party. The excitement, the energy, the short attention span, and bouncing all over the place. Many bar and bat mitzvahs, they end up requiring them to have a security guard. Why? Because these kids will just run all over the place. And if it's a group of kids that are somewhat spoiled, be careful. Have your team on point and let them know that they are not the babysitters, but parents don't think that that's not the case. They think that professionals are supposed to sort of babysit them. You're not supposed to babysit them. You're supposed to help guide them. And as an MC and as a DJ, you need to work as a team. The MC is really the facilitator. He needs to be the person who really knows everything that's going on and stays on top of the rest of his team. Dancers are highly important. We just did a bat mitzvah recently in which the girl said, I don't want the dancers talking to me. I don't want them talking to my friends. During cocktail hour, she specifically said, every bat mitzvah I go to, the dancers pretend like they're our friends. They walk up to us and they want to talk to us. I don't know these people. I don't want them talking to me. And I'm like, and what have we always been telling our staff? Go out, build rapport with these kids. I want them to be your friends. I want them to be able to dance with you. I want them to feel comfortable with you. And here this kid's shooting all that down saying, stay out of my face. You know, okay, so what do we do? That event, we stayed out of their faces. Very simple. Listen to those clients, and they will be the ones every day giving you something new to change and do. So, perfect prom. Let's see. I don't know why back there. I need to go back. Okay. So, in wrapping things up, because I am at the end of this, social media. Make sure you connect with social media. Why? Because today's client is tomorrow's client. You start building this following. If you promote yourself at these events, the bar and bat mitzvah might be the sweet 16th or the 18th birthday party. It might be the kid that's on the prom committee or the homecoming dance committee. You never know. So reach out to these people and keep that awareness in front of them, because they're going to go on. We've had a number of those events that have turned into weddings years later. Clients that we've actually done their events or youth events, and then when they got married, they hired our company as well, because they knew us. The company they turned to when they're out shopping, they maybe didn't look for us specifically, but when they started shopping and realizing, oh, hey, I remember those people. Yeah, we liked it. And they came to us, and then of course they said, oh yeah, you guys did our prom, whatever, you guys had so much fun. And that's it, it's an easier sale. Just shut up, say, great, what do you want? Let's sign the contract and move forward. It's not that easy, but that's the idea. Tomorrow's bride and groom, it's your corporate planner in the future. I don't know how it is in your market, but it seems like every girl who's between 23 and 26 years old right now wants to be a party planner. There could be, some of them do make it and succeed and become corporate party planners or catering directors. You know, they might be school teachers, and that school teacher might become the future class sponsor, so you want to be their friend. And of course, they're all going to become parents, most likely, and then that's going to start the next generation all over again. So it's going to come around. And social media allows us to stay in front of these people's faces for years to come. We don't know what's going to be the next hot trend in social media, so you got to always stay on top of it and just kind of follow along and make sure you keep yourself there. These are all your future clients. So become a rock star. Thank you very much. I'm Jeff Green, 84 West Studios, and I hope I can go on too long. I can't tend to be long-winded, but if you want to speak to me about a few things on the side, please do come on over. If you want to see some of the videos, and if you want to speak to, of course, Chauvet Lighting, and some of the people downstairs here, some of the things I talked about are available down on the floor, and I think all the businesses downstairs would like to see some customers, so make sure you help them out as well. Thank you very much.
Questions for Mr. Ray?